Tap it right here like this. Ooh, that's nice. Hey kitties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marilyn, and today we're getting into some makeup. Okay, New Year's is on the way, so there's New Year's Eve parties coming around, so we're going to do a New Year's Eve inspired look because we want to be the best looking person at the party. Like, let's be for real. Now hopefully you don't mind my Felicia braid.
Pretty.
Bye, Felicia.
Because I promise the look will come together. Like, literally, I promise. So if you don't mind, let's get into our face. So New Year's Eve party, any type of party, any type of event, all the makeup that we're going to use needs to be long lasting. Okay, so on my face, I already have my face primed. I have on the Danessa Myricks water powder serum. Then this is for oily skin, so it helps keep the oily areas at bay. So I applied it in my T-zone, a very thin layer of it. And I also have on, the Lumiglotion. This color is Deep Glow 904. So I have this on as well. Okay, so now we're gonna get into our base makeup. And like I said, this has to last long. So the only foundation that I can grab for long lasting matte flawless coverage is the one size. So if you have that, pull it out right now. If you don't, use what you got. So I'm gonna use my foundation brush from my Jessup brush set. I'll link the brush set below because this is my like go-to. Okay, so I'll link the brushes that I use today below. So I'm gonna do just a pump. The shade that I have is 45G, dark shade, and it has a golden undertone. So I'm just gonna pat that in. And I always pat the foundation in because it does give you the most coverage with the smallest amount of product. So the less product, but it gives wide coverage because of the stippling motion, okay? If you go in and start swiping it, you're gonna have to apply more foundation, and that's not what you want, okay? So just get more for your money, really. You're not overusing products, and you don't want your face to be, you know, cakey or feel too heavy. Just tapping it in again. Love this brush, it applies so well. I recently washed my brushes, so the application should be even better, okay? The makeup should come out even better today. So you see, I still have that one pump that I'm using to even out my skin. And I'm only gonna apply the foundation on the outside of my face. I'm not bringing it too far in here because I know that I'm gonna do concealer and I'm not gonna layer too many, I don't wanna layer too many products. All right, so now I'm gonna pump like just a little, not a whole pump, but just like a little dollop. I'm gonna go right in this area where I can still see some blemishes because I need this to be this is gonna be a full glam, okay? Full glam. That's what I'm going for. So the foundation is down. Now we're gonna go in for the concealer, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. This is full coverage. It's matte. It's long wearing. It's that girl. And if you want to actually cover, if you have dark circles or you have any like problem areas under your eye, this is definitely a full coverage foundation or a full coverage concealer that will erase all of that. Okay, so I'm going to place it on the under eye, and I'm going to do a thin layer. I'm going to bring the concealer just here and here, okay, and then a little bit here because we do want to lift the area. On the nose and a little on the forehead. Now I'm going to let this concealer hang out a little bit, but we're going to get into our brows, and this, absolutely love this. This is the Maybelline Build a Brow. I have the shade Black Brown. It has a pen, a felt tip pen, and then the sealant on the other side. Love this. So it is just going to draw hair-like strokes in my eyebrows just to fill in the sparse areas. So we're just gonna comb through it just to get the brows in place. Then you're gonna draw in small hairs just to fill in the areas that are sparse. All right, so those are the brows. We're gonna go back in and highlight those after we blend out the concealer because it's been sitting for a minute. And because this is a full coverage, thick concealer, I prefer to blend this type of concealer out with a beauty sponge because this is gonna help soak up the excess concealer so that way it doesn't get too cakey under the eyes, okay? This is a rule of thumb for me when it comes to thick concealers. If it's a thinner concealer, I'll go in with my brush. So this is damp. This is the Real Technique sponge. And I'm just gonna tap it and then blend it out. Okay, so you see how much the concealer spread all the way up until the under eye. The concealer did a really good job spreading itself out, so that's why you don't need to necessarily place, directly place concealer right under your eye. You can just do it right here and then blend upward to fill in that space. So that gives you a lot less creasing because you didn't apply as much concealer. Okay, so that side is blended. And the shade that I have in the Magic Touch Concealer is 19. This is like a peachy shade, so it does a really great job brightening the under eye if you do have dark circles. So if you're looking for a concealer that does that and you're about my skin tone, this would be a really great color to do. We are going to go in with another concealer that's brighter to brighten the area, but it is going to be very targeted. So just a small area in the under eye, I'm going to place a brighter concealer to bring even more light. So the concealer looks very blended out. I'm going to grab that same concealer color and I'm going to tap just a little bit here on the top of my hand. And we're going to go in with this brush from the Jessup brush set. And I'm going to highlight under the brows. So I like to grab it here and then just sort of. And then drag the concealer down. Because I typically use concealer as my primer for eyeshadow. So whatever gets on the lid, that's my primer. Okay, so the brow looks very clean, just a lot more defined, and I love that, especially for a full glam look like that we're going for. Okay, and whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to shape the top part of the eyebrows, okay? And then blend it up into the hairline. All right, so those are the brows. The next step we're gonna do is our blush. There's a blush combo that I've really been eating up. It's such a cute combo. So we're gonna start with the liquid blush in Bronze Bombshell. This is by e.l.f. And this is the shade. It's like it's a bronzy, orangey, brown blush that is perfect for medium dark to dark skin tone. Okay, it's like a nice cross between a bronzer and a blush, and it's just the perfect shade. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a few dots. I'm gonna blend it out with my favorite blush brush. Now this is in a set. The set is by Kingman, so I got this on Amazon. I'm gonna link it. I did a whole video on these brushes, so if you wanna check that out, you should. So I'm gonna blend out the liquid blush with the smaller side, and when we get to the step where I put the powder blush on top, I'll do it with the other side, the larger side. This is the perfect amount of hairs. It's just so easy to just tap on the blush and blend it out. It's so you see how radiant and glowy this blush is, but the way that it blends in is buttery smooth. I just love it. Now, while I'm blending this out, I'm really trying to think of what we're going to do on the eyes, but we know we have to make some impact when it comes to the eyes. For New Year's Eve, it has to be glittery, shimmery, pretty. I don't like harsh eyeshadows and cut creases and things like that. I love everything to be wearable, so even though it's going to be glittery and shimmery, baby, it has to be wearable. Like, I don't want to look ridiculous, even if it's New Year's Eve. All right, so the blush is placed. It's a nice flusher color, nothing too much because we're gonna be a little bit more festive on the eyes. So we don't wanna make the blush compete with the eyes. We want a nice subtle shade, and this to me is that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and bronze my face with the Makeup by Mario Serum Bronzer. Love this. If you watched my Best of 2024 makeup products, this was definitely on it, and it's for good reason. It's very natural, it's subtle, the formula is thin, lightweight, and it blends in really easily. So for a beginner, this would be a great product to use to bronze. It has an applicator with a doe foot, or there's a pump. I would suggest, as a beginner, I would suggest the doe foot because you can just place it in the areas that you need it to be, and then you can easily just blend it out. So I'm just gonna swipe it because this is very forgiving. It's not thick, it's not too pigmented, it's just pigmented enough. And that's what I love about it. Here. I think I drew that line crooked, but we'll fix it. It looks a little crooked, girl. We'll fix it. Okay, and now I'm just gonna blend out that bronzer. Just tapping over it. It blends out so easy. Like I said, this is a really great product for beginners. Just blend it into my hairline. And for the nose, we're gonna get a smaller brush, of course. This brush, perfect. Perfect for blending under eye concealer, but it's also really great to blend out the sides of the nose if you place any sort of like contouring or anything like that. Yeah, this is definitely crooked, girl. I'm gonna have to put some concealer there in the middle to straighten it out, but so now that we've bronzed and we did our liquid blush, we're gonna now go in and further highlight the under eye. Okay, and I'm gonna use the MAC Studio Radiance Concealer. We're just gonna do a little bit here and a little bit here. And we're just gonna target the brightness. So we're not gonna, this color is too bright and light to go over my entire under eye, but just a small dot makes a really big impact. I'm going to use a brush to blend it out. First, let's go here. And I'm going to go here and blend it out. So you can already see how it brightens that area. Then blend out this part. Okay, and right away I'm going to go in and set with my One Size powder. This is extremely long lasting, so it's perfect for this look, and it brightens like no other. It's in the shade Marigold. It brightens and smooths so well. So I have a sponge here. This is a Real Technique sponge. So I'm just going to get a small amount of the powder, and I'm just going to tap some off of my hand like this, because I want to first apply a thin layer. Because when you go in, you don't want to put too much powder at first. You just want to set it with a thin layer, then you can go in after and bake, because you don't want it to look cakey or get too weird looking under the eye. So that is the set. You can see this side compared to this side. I'm definitely going to go in with more powder though. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a heavier layer and like just pack it on and let it just sort of hang out under the eye while I finish the rest of my makeup. All right, so now we look crazy, but we're gonna let this powder just sit. I'm gonna complete the rest of my face, and then we're gonna work on the eyes. As far as the face goes, I'm going to set that blush, the liquid blush that we did with the House Labs Fire Moon blush. This is it's such a cute peachy shade, like a peachy brown. So cute. So it's a nice, subtle, natural color, and I'm just gonna tap it in the powder. And like I said, this is the perfect brush for blush because you can just easily just tap it on. Okay, as you can see, it's a nice peachy shade. Hopefully you guys can see it on this camera because in person, yeah. So I'm just tapping it on. I'm gonna do a little bit across my nose, like a little. And I'm gonna put a little bronzer. This is the Juvia's Place bronzer. I always go back to this. Like, I don't even think it's a need to buy any other one, but I probably will anyway. I'll probably try a different bronzer because so much makeup products come out, it's really hard to keep up with. I like to kind of stick with things that I like, but I do want to also bring you guys some different products to try out. So, but this is a go-to. I'm just tapping it. These brushes are, the fact that these brushes are under $30, each set that I have is under $30, and they perform like these brushes that are like $40 a piece. Like, why are people still buying those brushes? And I'm going to bring the bronzer up into my eyebrows. So it makes it extremely seamless when you bring it all the way in and brush it into the eyebrows. All right, so I'm going to put some more of the bronzer in my crease before we get onto the lid. So I'm just gonna start with the same bronzer, but on a more fluffy brush. I'm just gonna go right in this area and just do windshield wiper type of motions. Just to build the crease and just create more structure in the eye, okay? And you also have to be pretty careful since we've already done our face, but these products don't have a lot of fallout for me, so that's good. So this is the look so far. Now I'm gonna go in with this palette because this is by Juvia's Place. It's called the Candy Shop palette, and this has some gorgeous glittery shades. So it's a great way to do glitter without doing like loose glitter, which can be messy and just be too much. These apply really well, especially when you're doing with your fingers, but these are some of the shades. Now I'm not sure which one we're gonna do, but let's just swatch a couple. I'm gonna swatch this pink one first. You can see it on my hand here. This is what it looks like. Swatch it on my hand. So it's like a duo chrome type of shade. It's like a cotton candy sort of shade. I think this would be really pretty on New Year's Eve. Let's try another one that looks shimmery in this palette. Let's try this shade. So this is the shade. It's like a golden sort of shade. That's boring. Nah, that's definitely not gonna be the one I'm gonna use. Let's go into this one. I nicked it a little bit, but let's go into this shade. Let's see what it looks like. This is kind of a lot for me, but let's see what it looks like. So that's that. That's kind of a lot. Let's try this shade here. It has two different ones. Let's try that. So these are the shades that I just swatched. Such gorgeous, gorgeous looking shades. Still not sure. I think I'm gonna do this plus use my ColourPop. I have Ritz, I'm gonna show you. So this is Ritz by ColourPop. Oh, well, let me take the top off. So this is Ritz. I think I wanna do something with this. So it's a little bit more neutral toned. Maybe we can do a little smokiness with the glitter. That screams New Year's Eve. It really does. So I think I have an idea on what we're gonna do. Pulling out my Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. You know, this palette has powders as well as this pomade type of formula. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this shade here, which is called Mirage. I'm just gonna put that on my eyelid with my fingers. So it's like a neutral brown or a tan shade. Yeah. So this is a great base for the ColourPop shade to stick to. I'm just gonna tap that on. Okay, so now that I have that base, I'm gonna go in with a brown shade and I'm gonna use the powder. So I think I'm gonna go for shade Harvest, which is a dark brown. And I'm gonna concentrate that or focus that on the outer edge of the eye, like so. And just sweep it in the crease. Just pull it out a little bit. Just drag it out here. We don't want it to be super harsh. I want it to be very soft and wearable. Okay. And then go in with that shade on the other side. So first stamping it. So I'm stamping the color here because this is where I want the most concentration of color. And then I'll just drag it in like that, just to blend it in. I want to create a smoky eye, but I only want the smokiness to be on the outer corners of the eye. So now I'm going to bring a more detailed brush. I'm going to go in to the black shade. Just tap it like a little. Okay, I'm going to get it right here on the end, just to make it a little more deep, just a little more depth. Not too much though. So this is what it looks like so far. Grab one of the Juvia's Play shades, just one of them, which I think this first one is what I'm going to put on. That shade there. I'm going to focus that right here in like the center part of the lid. I'm going to put that there. Is this the one? Yeah. I'm just going to tap it right here like this. Ooh, that's nice. So just tap it. And when you use your fingers, it applies it the best. So this is the look. That color is pretty. It looks so much better on the eye than it does like just swatching it. So it's like a duochrome. It has different shifts when you move your head. So this is perfect. Perfect. When we put our lashes on, oh. So now I'm gonna also grab Ritz. I'm gonna focus that on the inner corner. So just rub it in. So this is what that looks like. I'm just gonna tap it like that. Yeah, that did what it needed to do. So tap it. So I'm gonna go in back into this palette. I'm gonna grab the black on an angle brush, and we're gonna do a little bit of a wing liner. Just going to. I want most of the darkness to be on the tail end of the eye. So I'm gonna do like a halfway type of liner. Go here, and then I'm gonna bring the brush here. So you're really subtle and not too much. I just want a little bit of depth on the outer corner. Okay, so the wings, I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the black, just a little bit, and stamp it like right here. Like right above where the liner is, just to bring a little bit of smoke, but not a lot of smoke. And now we're gonna do eyeliner. This is by LA Girl. I think it's the shade Feline. No, this is LA Girl. It's the shade Black Magic. And I'm going to go on my under eye. Just till about here and stop. For our lashes, this is the D-Silk lashes. These are my go-to when it comes to like a full glam, going out type of lash, more on the dramatic side. These are what the lashes look like. These are always too long for my eyes, so I have to clip the ends. Good. Perfect. And just fan it a little bit. You gotta let this glue get tacky before you try to just plop it on your eye. So just fan it off a little bit, or you can blow on it. But if you're doing somebody's makeup, don't blow on it, just fan it. So that's the first eye and the difference. The difference. The way these lashes pulled everything together, this look is nothing without these lashes. Like Amazon. I'll link it because I know you want it. Let's get back into the under eye. I'm going to go ahead and blend out that liner that I put on. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used to put the darker shade on the tail end of the eye. It's going to get right under here and blend it out. Now there's a little powder on this brush, so it makes it even better when you're blending it out. So it gives nice, subtle, but still smoky, a little sultry. So for my least favorite mascara, but sometimes I gotta do it. But I always hold my breath while I'm doing it. Okay, this is the, it's called the Call Me Queen eyelash. This is by Essence Beauty. So the mascara is on and I didn't mess up my makeup this time. I'm getting good. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press in the rest of that powder. Like really just press it in. Then I'm gonna use this fluffy brush to just dust away any excess. A little bit more bronze on the nose, a little bit in here. Yeah, just a little bit of my Rare Beauty powder in shade Chestnut. Just a little bit of this on. We're almost done. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of glow to the face. This is the Merit Beauty Highlighting Glowing Balm. It's in the shade Bounce, I think. Yeah, the shade is Bounce. I love to apply this with a damp beauty sponge. To me, that's the best way to apply it. And it's gonna give me a nice glow. So I'm just tapping it on there and then just tapping it over the highlight. So the overall look is matte. So I just like to pinpoint the areas that I need to glow because my skin is oily. So I do want the center to always stay matte, but on the outer portion, we need a little bit of glow, right? Like, yeah. So that is that. And I'm gonna use my fingers and get some right here on the tip of my nose and right here. In that area, and also some right here. This is a discontinued liner. If you've been here for a while, you know I did have my small business, Sugar Scoop Beauty, which we had for 3 years, okay? It was a lot of dessert-inspired body care, like body scrubs, body butters, body oils, but we also did have some lip products, and this is a shade Brownie. I still have a few shades, a few of these lip liners left, Brownie, and also in a color called Strawberry or Chocolate Strawberry, which is such a perfect shade. So I hardly ever buy lip liners because I do still have them, although I closed my business a few months ago because it got kind of hard. Okay, I may revisit it in the future, but it was good while it lasted. And so many of you supported that, like, but this is brownie. See how little it is? So it's just a perfect brown. Goes on so smooth. Maybe I should do a giveaway, because I have a lot. You see how smooth it goes on? Like, I just love these. These actually did so well on the side. Like, people love these lip liners. All right, so the lip liner is on. So we're gonna grab for our lip color. We're gonna use this the Maybelline Vinyl Ink. These are long lasting, and the shade that I have is Punchy, so it's a nudie shade, but we are gonna do a gloss on top of this too. Is that not the perfect nude? Like, for my skin tone, like, yeah. We let that dry down. Now the lip gloss, we're gonna top this off with a lip oil. This is perfect for this look. This is by e.l.f. in Candy Coated. So it's the lip oils that have like the shimmer in it. So good. Let me just swatch it. So you can see, I'm gonna lay this on top of the combo. Let's see. So good. So I'm gonna lay this on top. It looks so pretty with the eyes. Oh, so good. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take my Felicia plaits out and really bring it back. Felicia braids are out. The big curly hair is here. Okay, kitty, so this is the completed look. I took my Felicia braids out, and now I have the curly hair flourishing. So this is how the look came out. I think it came out really nicely. It has glitter, but it's still wearable, but it's still enough for like a New Year's Eve party. So it gives the glitz, the glam. It's full coverage. This is a long lasting look. I did set it off camera with the Infallible 3-second setting mist. This is gonna last all night. When the ball drops and everything, girl, it's gonna last. So definitely, if you don't have this, you should definitely look into it. If you don't have that, maybe you have the One Size Until Dawn. That's another really great setting spray. This is just a less expensive alternative. So if you want to go into New Year saving some money, yeah. But what do you guys think about this look? Do you love the glitters? I know I have a little bit of glue that got on my eyelid here, but I'm gonna let her be, okay? But the look to me gives very much glamorous, and hopefully you learned something. If you want any other makeup tutorials, you may need to request them, okay? So I know what you like. I still try to do makeup videos for my makeup girlies because that is predominantly what my channel is about, but you guys seem to engage more with fragrance videos. But I know I still have my girlies that love makeup. Makeup is who I am, really, okay? So definitely, if you have any requests or certain type of looks that you want to see, leave them down in the comments. I read them, okay? But this is the look. Hopefully you loved it. Hopefully it was easy for you to follow along with. The things that I use will be linked down in the description, so be sure to look, click the link if you want anything, and go purchase it. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.